on, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is going to be kind of an impassioned post for two reasons. Two separate situations have evolved here, and I really want to talk about both equally. So the first half of this situation is another case of excessive force where an officer has his leg, he's kneeling down on George Floyd's neck, and George Floyd is saying that he can't breathe. He's letting the officer know that he's got, breathing problem. He's having a hard time breathing. Winds up dying later because of this incident. And this is not very long after a couple of dumb hicks decided to go after a black guy jogging because they thought he might be a suspect in some break-ins around the neighborhood. And so they shoot him in broad daylight. And so if I'm a black person and I see these two events after everything else that we continuously see year in and year out, I would be pissed. And I am pissed. I'm not a black person, clearly, but it sucks to see, man. It sucks to see this division. It sucks to see that there's still this great divide in our country, and the people are still so damn short-sighted that something like race is a big deal to them. When it comes to police officers, look, man, it's like any other occupation you have. You're going to have your good, you're going to have your bad. You're going to have these guys that are there to do the right thing. They're there to help people out. They're there to protect and serve. And they actually care about people. Those are your good cops. And then you get these other guys who are there and they sign up probably just to use their weapon, but certainly to use excessive force. They're a bunch of fucking sociopaths that are just itching to hurt somebody. And yes, there are racial issues that get involved as well. And there is a lot of profiling that still happens in this country and a lot of racism. And so we have to be clear on all of this. It all still happens, and it's all... I personally don't understand it. I don't get it. My stepdad, who I grew up with since I was like 3 or 4 years old, was kind of like that too. He was a little bit racist, man. He always talked about, well, I got black friends, but he used the N-word like every other sentence. You know what I mean? One of those guys. And I never liked it. I never caught on to that. And thank God, because I don't want to be that kind of person. So it does piss me off when shit like this happens. And, like I said, I don't know how I would react in this situation if it was the reverse and I actually was the black man and I saw this happening to my people. I know I'd be pissed. I know I'd want to lash out. I know I'd have a lot of anger. And so I can't tell people how to feel when I'm not in that situation. I can't tell people entirely what they should do. But there's a fine line there, and that comes up to the protests that have been happening. And I got to be honest. This is going to touch a nerve with some people because I'm about to get really real, really fast with this. So I understand protesting. And I'll be honest, if it was a protest, I'd stand there with you on the protest line, in front of the cops, at City Hall. It wouldn't matter to me where we were. I would stand there with you because I believe in what you're doing. But a lot of these people are not fucking protesting anything. They don't give a fuck about George Floyd. They don't care what's going on. They are using the events that happened as an excuse to riot, loot, set shit on fire, break every law they can, and not get in trouble. And that is what pisses me off about that situation. And the reason I'm a little bit more impassioned about this is because these are people from the inner city talking about inner city problems while destroying their inner city neighborhood. They are making a problem bigger, not smaller. They are not drawing attention to shit. Because let's face it, corporate America, the 1%, the people in real power, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. They probably would love to see a great divide in this country. They'd probably love to see a racial war that takes out half the fucking country. Because it gets rid of the people that are sucking off the system in their eyes. You see what I'm saying? But you are making a bad situation way worse. Way worse. You are setting fires to homes, to businesses in your neighborhood. You are causing people in your neighborhood to go homeless, to go jobless, because you're a self-centered piece of shit. And make no mistake, I am not going to mince my words here. If you give animals an excuse, they will shit in their own house. And that is exactly what's happening in some of these areas. These aren't protesters, they're fucking animals. Taking advantage, like I said, of a situation. It disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me. There are black guys. I just saw this video of this guy who was like in tears, walking up to a bunch of black people, being black himself, being in the ghetto himself, crying in tears with a hammer in his hand because they looted his place of employment and destroyed everything he's worked his ass off for. Now you tell me, how is that helping George Floyd or his cause or his family or the black movement? It's not fucking helping anything. All some people do is destroy because that's all they care about is themselves. And it's disgusting to watch, man. It's taking something that is already tragic and already bad and blowing it way the fuck out of proportion. Now, there's always going to be that group of people that have been talking about protests have been happening since the dawn of time. This isn't a protest, and I've already said that. A protest is a protest. Go look at Dr. Martin Luther King. He had protests. And there's always going to be idiots that say, well, what about the Boston Tea Party? They threw a bunch of tea over the boat at the Boston Tea Party. That was a strategic move because England was sending their tea to America while we were in revolt against England, and it took money away from them. You tell me what a guy running into a broken into Target and stealing a TV does for George. Explain that to me, please. I want to know. It's ridiculous, man. It's disgusting to see. On both ends. Believe me. It is disgusting on both ends. It is disgusting when you see this abuse of power from police. It's happened time and time again. There have been too many damn dead bodies on the news. And probably way more than that you don't see. And then you get these idiots like these two jerk-offs who shot the guy in broad daylight. That was a piece of work within itself. That's enough to piss anybody off. I saw that video and my stomach turned. But then you get this shit. And it just causes a bigger divide. And people don't understand that they are just making themselves look like shit. You don't uphold the law by breaking the law. And I know that's very kumbaya, and in a perfect world, that's the way it would be. I get it. I get it. The system sucks. I get it. There is racial profiling. There is abuse of power. There is still this weird fucking racism that I don't understand in this country. I get it all. This is not the answer. It's not. I can't say enough. You don't uphold the law by breaking it. There are plenty of white people who agree that what happened to George Floyd is fucking disgusting. The officer should go to prison, and whatever happens to him in prison is his own damn fault. If he gets a train run on him and somebody sticks him 200 times, whatever. He asked for that. You don't uphold the law by breaking it, though. You got to show yourselves better than that. Everybody. I hold every single individual accountable. from the cops to the people protesting to the people who just want to loot and riot and tear shit up. We're all accountable for our actions. So those are my thoughts, as impassioned as they are. I know it's not a nice topic. I get it. And I know it's going to touch a lot of nerves. I don't care. At some point, you got to understand that unity is more powerful than anything else. The day we, as a people, black, white, brown, red, yellow, pink, purple, polka dotted, or striped, it doesn't fucking matter. The day we stand together against the real enemies is the day we understand real power. Until then, nothing gets solved. And all we see is more dead bodies on the news, more riots, more neighborhoods burned down, more stores broken into. Congratulations, you got a new fucking TV. Until they see your ass on camera and put your ass in the pokey. Like, people just don't think. So, alright, I'm going to end this. Like I said, I know I got a lot of emotions about this, but we should. Everybody should. This is something we should not be quiet about. On either end, I disagree entirely with both things happening. I understand you need to make a statement. I understand you got to figure out some way of getting people's attention and making them realize what's happening. I get that. I'm going to repeat, though, this is not the way to do it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwoods. Kaged Nation, out.